y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Low Carb Liz. I have a cheat to confess. I have an upcoming vacation and it's time for that 1 month update of my first month as a carnivore. Last week we missed doing a video. We had car trouble, dead alternator, dead battery, and we went out to dinner with friends. And I cheated while out to dinner. Full confession, I had an awesome steak, cooked in butter, super happy, avoided all the vegetables. But man, when it came time for dessert, the creme brulee kind of called my name. And so even though I told Andy, I'm only gonna take a bite or two of the creme brulee, and are you gonna take a bite or two as well? And so sure, I kind of twisted his arm and he said, okay. Yeah, y'all, I think it was like 30 seconds and the creme brulee was just gone. Bye-bye, never to be seen again. Creme brulee is one of my favorite desserts. It's one of the very few desserts as a celiac that I can get out at a restaurant, gluten-free. This was a really, really good creme brulee. And I think I paid for 2 to 3 days after the cheat. I'm just not feeling really good and kind of being sluggish. So I'm not really sure when I'm gonna do that again. Even though the creme brulee, forbidden fruit, I paid for it. It took me 2 or 3 days to kind of feel back to where I was at that feeling really good spot. And man, I really don't think I want to do that anytime soon. So I've been a carnivore elimination diet for the last 4 weeks. And I've definitely noticed some significant improvements and then other bitty baby increments of improvement. I feel a lot better. So the last 4 weeks of only eating meat has been an interesting journey. Granted, I was keto before this, and then, for 4 weeks before I started this, I also only ate meat at dinner time. And that was when I started to realize that I was actually having a lot of bloating when I was eating vegetables and the way that I was eating. And even though it was all whole foods and no processed foods and definitely no gluten, I was surprised at the entire elimination of seed oils for the last 4 weeks and how good I felt. I've also been really surprised at the elimination of every single vegetable that I was eating, and I was only down to like 2 or 3 types of vegetables, to be perfectly honest, because at that point I just kind of narrowed down to like salads, broccoli, occasional asparagus, things like that. But without going out to eat dinners out where I would get seed oil, my food would be cooked in seed oil because we don't use any kind of seed oils at the house here, but olive oil and avocado oil and butter were what we were using to cook our food. So eliminated that entirely here at the house too. So we're only cooking in butter or beef tallow. And I've been really shocked at how good I have felt. I don't know if that's the elimination of all the vegetables. I don't know if that's the elimination of all the seed oils by going out. Because I really was thinking in my brain that only going out once a week to eat out and kind of have that, whether or not it's just salmon and a steak and Caesar salad, and the Caesar salad dressing had seed oils in it and they were cooked in seed oils or combination, of olive oil, seed oil, that kind of thing. But I've been really surprised how good I felt without that in my diet. I've mainly just been doing beef, butter, and eggs this month. I tried bacon. It didn't sit well with me. Kind of got really flushed, which is what I normally do if I'm having an allergic reaction to some kind of food, or it's just I'm being sensitive to it, is now what I'm end up saying now. So bacon, I've not been able to try for the past couple weeks. Probably gonna try it again next month. But overall, I've noticed a lot more energy. I'm waking up better. I'm sleeping better. I just feel more focused when I'm at work. I didn't have a whole lot of brain fog because I've been keto for several years. But just overall, better mood, better energy, better outlook on life. And in the middle of wintertime, with the vitamin D deficiency that I have because of my autoimmune disease, I need every better outlook I can get. So I've been surprised at how good I felt. I've definitely also started moving more, working from home. I was pretty much lucky if I was getting in Monday through Friday, like 3,000-4,000 steps a day. Saturdays and Sundays when we would actually go out and shop and other things, then I'd be getting 5,000-6,000 steps a day. Well, I've got my mini stepper. I'm doing it at work. I'm walking around the house more, and I have been able to successfully get up to 7,000 steps a day. And this week, have a goal of getting 8,000 steps a day as I continue forward, just to keep moving. Better energy, better mood, and my blood pressure, even though this has only been 4 weeks, is also showing signs of improvement. Both numbers, the systolic, the diastolic, have definitely been going down and getting more from that stage 1 hypertension phase down to just the normal on a very consistent basis. So I've been super happy to see that improvement. I was really kind of shocked that it's only been 4 weeks, and I've definitely seen a 5 to a 10 point drop down. And y'all, I've been extremely happy with my little stepper. I am not trying to do cardio. I do not want that extra cortisol raising up and stress or anything like that, especially since I'm trying to step like 8 hours a day when I'm at work and just kind of shuffle it in and just add those steps and just make it easier. But a lot of people at work are really super interested in it because, of course, whenever we have a meeting, I just kind of step solidly through the meeting. I'm not out of breath. I can still talk and contribute and everything like that. But hey, new year, new you. Everybody has these New Year's resolutions, and really happy with how my stepper is working with keeping me moving, because it is the winter time. I do not like the cold, don't physically handle the cold really well. And this has been an awesome addition to get me to springtime when I can get back outside and start walking. And this video is in no way, shape, or form medical advice. I am simply sharing my journey with you guys and just letting y'all know how my progress has been going. So, progress update. Year to year, so from last year to this year, I have lost 3.5 pounds. Confession, last year was almost an entire weight loss stall for me. However, last year I really lost inches, and 4 inches in my waist is what I was down last year, and about 3.5 inches in my hips is what I was down last year. So even though the scale hated me, my body was recompositioning and I was healing from having all the gluten, and I definitely saw progress, at least in the shape of how my body looked. And honestly, an entire year-long weight loss stall where the scale hated me every second of my life, it felt like, but where I was losing inches and seeing my body reshape itself, definitely is going to sustain me on this carnivore journey, because I know that at first I may not see a whole lot of weight loss, and this month, this entire first 4 weeks, 0. I have a big goose egg for what the scale says that I have lost. I've lost no weight. I've also been measuring, because those non-scale victories are huge. That's the only thing that kept me going last year, period. So I've been measuring my neck, I've been measuring my rib cage, been measuring my waist and my hips. I really haven't been measuring my calves, but I do have a calf update. So it's only been 4 weeks. My neck really hasn't seen any progress. Starting to notice though, at certain times when I'm looking in the mirror, a little bit of loose skin down there. I'm starting to get a little bit self-conscious about it. I just keep telling myself, something's happening, something's recompositioning itself. So definitely I'll keep you posted on how that goes. Now, when I first started keto, which was 2019 basically, and though it was off and on, losing weight in my waist was something that I really wanted to do. I mean, let's face it, when you try to lose weight, you're really trying to lose fat. And with the gluten allergy, there's a certain like gluten body type where I was very inflamed and just swollen from my rib cage down to my hips. All right, it was really just horrible looking. I mean, there's a gluten bloat at the very bottom of your rib cage. For me, I think that's actually where your liver is inflamed as you're eating the gluten and you're eating other things that are toxic, and there's just a huge amount of inflammation all over in your body. I had no waist. Literally, I just went out and down, and that was it. There was no waist differentiation between my waist and my hips. It was just really looked like one big blob. Now, last year, with losing a lot of inches, because I was able to cut gluten entirely out of my diet because it was hiding in my supplements. Please, you have food allergies, you have any kind of sensitivity, check your supplements, check them often, especially post-COVID, because so many supplements have changed where they can source their ingredients and how they actually make certain things. So I was taking what I thought were these awesome, vitamins, omega-6s, this food complex, these this supplement that was supposed to be really, really great for you, because it had changed and it started on gluten. I was very inflamed until last March, where I was able to get rid of that from my diet. And once I got rid of that from my diet and really just eliminated that source of inflammation, that's when I started seeing inches come off. That's when I wasn't like painfully bloated after every meal, but I did notice that I was still bloated, hence the whole coming around full circle to eliminating everything in my diet that could actually cause me pain and bloat when I eat. So last year I went from that amorphous kind of blob jello looking shape to where actually you could start to see my waist and see it come in and start to see it have definition. That was super nice. The bloat, that huge one I call gluten bloat underneath my rib cage, really started to go away. And that is what I have seen the most results with this month. So my neck, there's really no difference. Underneath my rib cage though, from the beginning of last year to this year, I am now down an official 4 inches. My rib cage was at the very biggest, was 38 inches. And then it got back down to 36 inches, which is about how big I've been since I got pregnant 19 years ago, 20 years ago. And then now this month though, when I just measured it, my rib cage is back down to 34 inches. And 34 inches is a size that I have not seen since my mid-20s. So I am super ecstatic about that. And I'm really happy that even though like my little tracking app that I put these in didn't actually have me measuring my rib cage, but because I had so much bloat there, I just decided to go ahead and do it. So I'm really happy because that's like my best victory this month. I really want to lose inches in my waist. I want to have that waist to size height ratio be that 0.5 that's supposed to be a signal of good metabolic health. And I definitely want to get there. So I was really hoping that like by some magic, my waist would go down like a lot. It went down like maybe like 0.2 of an inch, not 1/4 of an inch, not quite that. I didn't track any downward movement in my app. I'm like not sure if that was just wishful thinking. Did I pull the tape a little bit too tight? So the waist, we're gonna measure it again at the end of next month, but maybe a scotchy bit of movement there, but super teeny tiny. And my hips, they love me. They went up 1/4 of an inch. I'm not surprised. I've been using the stepper. The stepper is not quite the same movement as just being out walking. So I can definitely feel like the muscles as I'm moving, and I can feel them kind of, in my core. I can feel them on my back. So I'm not exactly super surprised that I went up 1/4 of an inch. I'm not sure how much that has like shifted from fat to muscle, but I definitely feel like it's shifted a little bit from fat to muscle. So even though it's 1/4 of an inch bigger, I'm gonna hold on to one other non-scale victory just concerning the visible look of my hip fat. What I've noticed for the past like 2 weeks is that my hip fat, instead of being like just straight across, is starting to indent a little bit in the middle right underneath my belly button. It's about that much of an indent. All right, it is definitely visible. There's some recompositioning happening there. There are changes going on. Even though the tape measure was 1/4 of an inch bigger, I'm just gonna wait and see. We're gonna measure again at the end of February and see what kind of movement we've had. But overall, with the rib cage being down to 34 inches, I don't see how that can get smaller. That's back to what my rib cage was when I was 18. So I'm going to take that victory. Bam, that's in the win column. And I really think my waist is down just a little bit, but we're just going to wait. And then my hips are up a little bit, but we have that concave movement in the adipose tissue and that fat that's right there. So we'll wait and see what that looks like next month too. Now my calf victory, which is not something that I actually normally measure, but we went out to dinner last weekend And we're getting dressed up. It was a fancy place. And man, I was trying to decide what shoes to wear. And so I tried on a pair of boots that I haven't been able to actually wear in like 4 or 5 years. Easy. Okay. Like they just would not, because they're zip ups and getting over my calves, they just would not close. Like there was that much, like a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch gap that I just could not, no matter. I mean, like you just can't suck in like the calf on your leg like you can like when you're trying to like, zip a dress or something. But y'all, bam, they fit. Super excited. That to me is real progress because I tried these boots on last a year ago and they still did not fit, and it was still that same like 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch that just would not go away, wouldn't tighten. But last Saturday I wore those boots out for the first time in forever, and Andy was just like, "Where did you get those?" I'm like, I've had these for a while, but I haven't worn them in so long. They're like new. But I had an awesome time wearing them, and except for the creme brulee, it was a good night overall. So it's been a really good month. I am continuing with no vegetables for the next month just because it has been such a novelty to eat food without being bloated that I've been super excited, and I love my progress, even though I wish it would fast forward, don't we all? However, I am about to go on vacation. Yes, I have an upcoming vacation where I am a little bit worried about seed oils and what I will be eating. Especially since it is my favorite, most magical place on earth. I'll be going to Walt Disney World, and I want to make sure that even though I am there and I have fun, I don't really want to eat a whole lot of seed oils. So I am definitely doing some problem solving on what I can take and how I can avoid seed oils. So I will keep you guys posted because I'm feeling like there's a Costco run in my future. So I'm brainstorming what I can do, try to make sure I have a good vacation, free of bloat, free of as many seed oils as possible, without being a total drag on Andy's vacation and making it all about food and the food I need to eat. So overall, I feel really awesome. I've seen a lot of good movement this month. I'm definitely going to continue next month, and I will keep you guys posted. And until next time, y'all have an awesome week.